Kings look to go 4-0 after the All-Star break with another matchup with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm Ryan in Sactown, and this is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That. Hope it's a good evening to everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining me on the pregame show. Yes, you are not seeing things. The boss handed over the keys to let me take a little flight with all of you before the game tonight. I know he's going to be watching. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. But not to worry, the boss will be back. Grant and I will be doing the halftime show and the post-game show tonight. So really, really, really happy to see you here tonight. Let's get right to it. Sacramento Kings, 10 games over 500. Really exciting time. First time since the 05-06 season that we are 10 games over 500. They look to make that 11 games over 500 tonight and continue solidifying that third spot in the West. So, as you've likely heard, if you have not, De'Aaron Fox is going to be out of the lineup tonight. De'Aaron suffering some left wrist soreness. Not sure when it happened in the game on Sunday night. Guessing when he took that spill to the floor. He participated in shoot around this morning, but only in the non-contact portions of shoot around. That means somebody's going to have to step up for the Kings. It comes at a really bad time for De'Aaron. De'Aaron has averaged 30 points over the last 7 games. Think about that. 30 over the last 7. That's a Sacramento era record. And he's second in the NBA in scoring at just over 34 points a game in that 7-game stretch. So certainly his absence will be noted for the Kings. But we have seen the Kings play without De'Aaron in the past. Sometimes it's been good one time. Most times it's been a little bit rough. They're 1-4 this season without De'Aaron in the lineup. However, with the Kings rolling right now, with Monk shooting the ball well, with the bench really stepping up, and with an inferior opponent tonight, in my opinion, Oklahoma City, I don't see any way, even without Fox, that the Kings do not win this game tonight, because Fox is important to the Kings. We get that, but SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is not playing for Oklahoma City either. So, that being said, I think this one's going to be a Kings victory all the way around, and it's going to pose some interesting matchups for the Kings. It's going to pose some interesting playing combinations. Hey, what's up, guys? I see you there. Thank you so much. Deli. Yeah, it's probably going to be Davion that's going to be getting that starting role tonight, getting those minutes, but I don't expect him to be getting the majority of the minutes tonight. Certainly, he'll probably get a little bit more than he's used to seeing. But I would expect maybe to see Delhi to see if things get a little bit, out of control, which I don't expect because, again, the Kings are a better team with SGA not on the floor and even Fox not on the floor at this time. So, anyways, Rhino, I see you guys there. Yes, Fox is out for sure. If you're just joining the show, and thank you so much for joining the pregame show, Fox will not be playing tonight. That gives them a decent break. The Kings aren't back in action until Friday night at home. They start a 4-game homestand. That kicks off with the Clippers. That's going to be a huge game. Grant brought that up in one of our post-game shows, saying if the Kings are able to beat the Clippers, he thinks that the Clippers will not be able to come back and pass the Kings in the standings. Time will tell. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up. Philippines, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining the show. We're worldwide. We are worldwide, and that's thanks to Grant. So, yeah, we'll see what the Kings do tonight. We're looking probably for some more bench production, more or less. The Kings, they're a lower scoring team without Fox on the floor, because when you look at it, Fox is the only King, in my opinion. Monk, debatable, that can get to the floor and get their own shot whenever they want their own shot. And it's actually not debatable. He is, and that opens up things for everybody else. So when we're looking and in the chat, please let me know what you guys think. Who needs to be that player in the starting lineup that's going to step up and open things up? I've got a couple players in my mind that I think could fill that role for the Kings. What's going on? I see you guys all out there, and thank you so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. If the boss man's watching, we appreciate it. Coming off a huge run over the past few games, we did have 30,000 on our post game show after the Clippers game. So if you've not seen the show before, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and we'd love to have you drop around. Bosnia, what's going on? We see you there. So Bobby, what's going on, my man? So getting back to the conversation about who we think should step up. C-Dog, what's up, my man? Connor says it needs to be Barnes and Herter. So you know what, Connor? You are spot on. When the Kings have not had Fox in the lineup, Barnes has kind of been that guy that's been more aggressive and taking it to the hole, trying to draw some fouls and get lanes opened up for the rest of the guys on the floor. Sabonis is an obvious one, too. I know we're talking about Herter as well, but Sabonis is obvious. Oklahoma City does not have anybody that can guard Sabonis. And Oklahoma City actually threw the Kings a very interesting look in the first game. They did the 2-3 zone against the Kings, which Portland did on the first game back from the All-Star break. And, you know, it's really easy in theory to break a 2-3 zone. You get the ball in the middle. And where does Sabonis thrive? He thrives at that high post kind of look. So if Sabonis can get in the middle and they throw the zone at him, that's going to open things up for everybody else as well. But getting back to your point, Kevin Herter, he has struggled. He's had a very, very rough month of February. There's no doubt about that. But let me remind you, Malik Monk also had a very, very bad month of January, and he was able to break out, and we saw what he did in LA against the Clippers, career high 45 points. So those two guys certainly could be a huge part of getting that going. Let's not forget about Keegan Murray either. Keegan has kind of changed his game up a little bit as of late. He's been more aggressive. He's taken it to the hole. He's doing things instead of just sitting there at the 3-point line. So that opens up a lot of opportunities for the Kings on offense. But really what it comes down to is for this team to win tonight, which I do think that they are going to win tonight, the Kings just need to outscore the Thunder. It's that simple. We know the Thunder had a really, really good third quarter in the first meeting on Sunday and shot the three ball extremely well. But that being said, the Kings shoot the three ball extremely well. And if the Kings are able to just somewhat defend that and not give them open threes, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, don't give them open looks, then I think the Kings should be fine so long as their shooting is good. Got another comment. Pay attention to the space without D-Fox. Yes, that's a very, very good point that you bring up. Spacing sometimes does get a little cramped up with Fox. The ball movement can get a little stagnant as well. In addition to the spacing, something else that I would look for is them not being aggressive enough. Sometimes they don't take what's considered a good shot in their offense. They'll look for that extra pass. So I would like to see them kind of take the shot if they have the shot, especially against this undersized Oklahoma City team, because the Kings can have the advantage on the offensive rebounds tonight. So again, if you're just joining us, De'Aaron Fox is out for the Kings. Looks like Davion Mitchell will be stepping into the starting lineup. Got some exciting news for you. Not sure if you've heard, but the NBA has flexed the March 9th game at Golden One Center versus the New York Knicks to a TNT game. That's right, a TNT game. So the Kings are getting that national attention again. We'll see if they'll put up another 150 points like they did the first time they were on TNT this season. But the fact that they're on that radar, playing a very, very good New York Knicks team. Don't get me wrong. The Knicks have won 7 in a row. So you might notice a little thing right here behind my shoulder. That is the if you don't like that merch, we absolutely love the t-shirt, and thank you all for your response to the t-shirts. Everybody that's emailed in, we've kind of put just a quick pause as we are going to add a direct link to Grant's website, which will be up just in no time at all. Should be up very, very soon to make the purchasing of the shirts easy. But we're so excited to get those out to you and have you wear those around town, wear them to G1, and yeah, support the show. So thank you so much for your interest in those. Again, Grant and I will be on tonight at halftime. We will also be on tonight after the game to break things down. So make sure you join us back for both of those shows. So where's everybody watching the game tonight? Oh, here's a question. How much are the shirts? The shirts are $30 including shipping. $30 including shipping. We'll get those details to you as soon as that is all set up and live to Grant's website if you don't like that. So what's everybody doing for the game today? I am going to be watching the game here at home, doing the shows with Grant. But if you have a few minutes and you're feeling a little bit hungry, you could go roll on down to Bennett's. Bennett's is an absolutely amazing restaurant here in Sacramento. Locations also in Roseville, new locations coming to Rockland in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Whether you're looking for some prime cuts of meat, whether you're looking for great seafood, whether you're looking for great brunch on the weekends, Bennett's is the place to be. I actually took my wife to Bennett's for her birthday, and she was absolutely treated like a queen. Brian, his team, huge Kings fan. So thank you to Bennett's for their support. Make sure you go check them out. Again, Bennett's locations in Roseville, Sacramento, and soon to come Rockland. All right. So we're leading up to tip-off tonight with the Kings, and this is pretty incredible the way this is set up for the Kings, right? Coming out of the break, we saw what Dame Lillard did against Houston. He puts up 71 points. That easily could have been the Kings had they not rested Dame Lillard against the Kings and Jeremy Grant against the Kings. Because let's be real, the Kings defense isn't that much better than the Houston Rockets defense. Charlotte, North Carolina, what is going on? Nice to have you here. Logan, Utah, what's up? Look at this. We are countrywide. Haunted Horse, how you doing there, buddy? Thanks for joining the show in Oregon. So, anyways, getting back to that, the way things have set up with the Blazers resting Lillard and Grant and the Kings getting what was considered somewhat of an easy win. And then they go to Los Angeles, have what's easily the best regular season game in Kings history, hands down, not debatable. Then they come on the road to Oklahoma City, continue the road trip, get a win, coming off a high momentum game or 2 nights before that. So anyways, what I'm saying is the fact that the Kings have started off 3-0 and can go 4-0 tonight is a huge thing, especially if we may be looking at some extended time, and nothing has been reported in terms of that with De'Aaron Fox's injury, but time will tell. The Kings are very lucky to be in a place to where he can sit out tonight and rest that left shooting wrist and still have a few days off for him to get some treatment and not have to worry about the standings as much. Grant and Rhino International. Yes, indeed. We are international. We love all of our viewers, and we can't appreciate all of you enough. Again, we will both be back at halftime and after the game. So let's see. We got some more Kevin talk. Pay attention to Kevin's body language after his first make. That's an interesting comment. He's a shooter, right? Shooters are going to shoot. I've not seen a huge difference in Kevin's body language when he's not making shots versus when he's making shots. I'm noticing the difference in the small things in his game when he's not making shots, whether it be a missed free throw, whether it be a traveling violation, a bad pass. Kevin's a fairly fundamental player. And when he's making those mistakes, then that's to me when I kind of get a little bit worried. Kevin's going to break out of this thing. He's going to be just fine. But you got to remember, we're 3/4 of the way through the season. Tonight or after tonight, there's only going to be 21 games left in the season. And teams have learned how to guard Kevin much different than they did at the beginning of the season. And so I think he's going to be okay. But tonight could certainly be his breakout night. There is no doubt about that. Shirts. We're going back to shirts. This beautiful thing right here over my shoulder. You can get your grants. If you don't like that shirt online, that link is going to be up on Grant's website. If you don't like that, in the coming days, we have taken some orders via email and we're still taking care of those. But we want to streamline the process because the demand for the shirts has been so great. Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is awesome. We will certainly be putting your name in the hat for coming on with us. I think we've got just a couple more games left until we bring a fan on. That's a great point. I'm so glad that you brought that up. The super chat, if you do a super chat, whether it's $1 or a large amount, we are going to pick one fan of any amount of donation to come on and break down the last 5 Kings games with us. And then the 2 highest donations also get to come on to the show. And that's the post-game show with Grant and I. So really appreciate that, Augustine. So anyways, we want a Rhino rant. All right. Well, if you want a Rhino rant, then you got to give me something decent to rant about. I think you've only gotten a couple of them before. One was about Kings broadcasting, and the other was somebody said I looked like David Blaine. If somebody can come up with something better than I look like David Blaine, then maybe you can get one. But I'm pretty sure later tonight you will be getting a Grant's rant. There is no doubt about that. So let's run down tonight's schedule in the NBA. The NBA, it's actually a 10-game schedule tonight, which is a rarity sometimes. We've got the Wizards leading the Hawks 10-8 right now. We've got the Bucks and the Nets just underway. They're all tied up at 9. We've got the Bulls and the Raptors. Raptors leading that one 11-6. We've got the Lakers and the Grizzlies tied up at 14. Interesting matchup. If you have not heard, LeBron James is out indefinitely. He's going to be going to see a couple of specialists for his foot, and there is no timetable on his return. Check out Grant's rant today. I think you'll enjoy that about LeBron and the Lakers and their preference of who they would want to play if they made it into the playoffs. We got the Nuggets and the Rockets. Got obviously Kings and Thunder, the game that we all care about. And then we've got the Pacers and the Mavericks, Spurs, Jazz, Trailblazers, Warriors, Timberwolves, and Clippers. That's going to be one that I'm definitely going to be watching. We want to see what the Clippers do behind the Kings. For those that have not seen the the Suns are going to be getting Kevin Durant back for the first time since joining Phoenix. So he will be joining the team tomorrow. So that's the NBA lowdown tonight. Rich, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. I hope your leg's feeling much better, and really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rich. I know Grant appreciates it too. So we are getting ready for landing. I'm still looking for a decent rant. Let's see. We got rant on Jerry's computer. The problem with that one is Jerry got a new computer. If you would have said Jerry's old computer, maybe I would have given you one there. Let's see. Adam Silver, target scoring in overtime. Rant on Davion Mitchell's offense. I don't know if I can do that to Davion. He plays such good defense. I don't know. Tell you what, I am going to look through these and I may pick a rant to go with in the post-game show, but you're going to have to stay tuned for the post-game show to see that. So we are getting ready, leading you up to tip-off here, or I should say in Oklahoma City for the Kings of the Thunder. As I look up, Kevin Huerter's taking a couple jump shots. Been some questions tonight about him breaking out. Expect Trey Lyles to get some decent minutes tonight. I think that is going to be big. He played really well coming off the bench in the first game against the Thunder. Rant about Highway 80. I could definitely rant about Highway 80. There's no doubt about that. Rant on being a broadcaster. Well, I can't say I'm a broadcaster yet. I am an aspiring broadcaster, and the boss trusted me with the keys to the plane tonight. So I am very appreciative of that. So getting back to that with the bench, I think that's going to be the key to the Kings. It's going to be a group effort, right? They're going to have to do what they did when Sabonis was out in Los Angeles with an illness, and they just kind of rallied together and were able to get the W on the road. Oh, we got wrestling rants now. Rant about The Rock being a part of WrestleMania. Are we talking about WrestleMania this year? First, you have to tell me, do I look like The Rock? I've gotten that from some people. You see, I don't see Rocky here. I could probably do a Rocky rant. We'll see if anything else comes in. So, sorry, we're kind of all over the place. I am flying the plane for the first time, as they say in the business, and getting ready for landing as the Kings are getting ready to take on the Thunder tonight. So that is going to be more like Kevin Martin. Okay, so I'm going to give you a funny story. I used to get Mike Bibby all the time. That was the one that everybody gave to me, and I went off of it, and I kind of had the lines like that. Enough said. Mike was a good dude. I used to work his basketball camps. So, yeah, that's funny. All right. Rant on Rome being okay. You know what? Now you got me in my sweet spot. You got me in my sweet spot right there. All right. Memo to Sacramento Radio. Have you ever had a Hall of Fame host in Sacramento? Well, you were close to having a Hall of Fame host until you got rid of them. And what do? You take the one voice that Sacramento could still rely on from 9 to 12 every single day. The voice that Sacramento could have their laughs with. The voice that Sacramento could hear make fun of them half the time. The jungle, the place where there's clone on clone violence. The jungle where anything goes. There's the rat family. There's the giraffe family. There's Tan Smack. There's everything under the moon. It's like a big circus in the jungle. And you rip it away from Sacramento. You know what that is? That is the equivalent of literally pulling a tablecloth off of a table and seeing everything shatter around you with your listener base. You did not execute that very well, Sacramento. You know what? We're not knocking the talent that's here in Sacramento. But Jim Rome? Really? You're going to rip Jim Rome I bet if I asked anybody in this chat if they knew who Jim Rome was, they would raise their hand and say yes. Oh, but if I ask who's this running the show from this time to this time, have you ever heard of them? Probably not. So, Sacramento, you got it wrong. And Romy, on behalf of Sacramento, on behalf of Rhino, we apologize. And that's Ryan's rant. Brought to you again by Bennett's Kitchen. Go ahead, go check out Bennett's for all of your needs. Great fine dining, fun atmosphere. Brian and his team, big Sacramento Kings supporters. Go check out Bennett's locations in Roseville, Sacramento, and soon to come, Rockland. All right, guys, we are just about there. We are ready for tip-off. Again, the Kings will be without De'Aaron Fox tonight, but not to worry. I think the Kings are going to be just fine, and they will go to 11 games over 500. 11 games over 500. Don't forget, join Grant and I at halftime tonight and after the game. We can't wait to see you, and thank you all so much for the support on the show tonight, on the pregame show. I'm Rhino in Sactown. I'm going in for the landing. So long.